everybody, welcome to Let's Yoga. My name is Gill. Today's session is all about Tanabata, which is a Japanese festival that takes place on the 7th day of the 7th month. Do you know when that is? July! So it's a lovely festival that takes place in Japan every year, and it's got a lovely story behind it as well. So it's a traditional folk story that we're going to do some yoga to. So before we start, make sure you've got a nice clear space around you so you're not going to bump into any family members, furniture or pets. Make sure you've got some water nearby to keep yourself hydrated, and make sure that you are kind and safe in all of your yoga. So have a go at everything, try your best, but come out of anything if it hurts you. Okay? Right. So, sitting up beautifully nice and tall. Can you bring your palms together in your heart space? We're going to bow our heads and say our special yoga code word, which is Namaste. After 3, 1, 2, 3, Namaste. Excellent. Okay, let's come straight up to standing. So, can you stand without using your hands? Let's go. Whee! Wonderful. Okay. So, can you stand up really nice and tall? And we're just going to do some breathing to start with. So, standing up beautifully nice and tall in mountain pose. So, we're going to think of our breathing today as if we're breathing in the universe and breathing out really big, nice, long, deep breaths. Because our story is all about the God of the sky and the stars. I thought it would be a lovely way to start. So, can you give a little bend in your knees? And make sure your shoulders are down and nice and relaxed. Can you lift your toes up off the ground and then place them down into the earth so you've got a really nice strong foundation. And make sure your body's nice and floppy and loose. So we're going to breathe in, take a deep breath in, and you're going to reach up as you stand up, straighten your legs and look to the sky. And then let out a big and you're going to melt forward and let everything flop down to the ground. As you breathe in, you're going to scoop, bend your knees, stretch all the way up. And then as you breathe out, flop all the way back down. Let's do that one more time. So breathing in the universe, scooping it up to the sky. And then breathing it out, flop it all the way down. Let's just hang here for a moment. Just let everything flop down. Let your hands drop wherever they get to, whether it's your ankles or the floor. Just hang here, let your head be heavy. Give it a little shake. Nod it yes. Shake it no. Then can you bring your arms over to one side of your feet and hang out here. And as you breathe in, come back to centre. And breathing in, scoop around to the other side. And then breathing out to centre. And then we're really going to slowly, float all the way, bring our bodies all the way up bit by bit. So can you really slowly roll up, all the way back to standing. Excellent. Okay, so can we just give a little wibble there? Let's just give our bodies a little bit of a wibble wobble, shake out warm up. So let's begin with our hands. Can you give a little wave? Yay! Can you give your wrists a little wobble? Shake them all out. Can you lift one leg and give your foot a little wobble? That's it, give a little wobble out. Place it back down. Can you give the other leg, give the foot a little wobble? That's it, shake it out. Can you bring your hands to your knees, do some circles? Go one way. That's it. And then stop, and then bring them back the other way. That's it. And then can you bring your hands, bring your legs out a bit wider, and put your hands on your hips and do some circles that way. That's it, and then stop, and then go the other way. Whee! And then can you do some shoulder shaking, maybe do some side to side, do some bouncing up and down. And can you shake everything in your body? 3, 2, 1. Well done. That was a great wibble wobble out. Okay, so let's begin our story. So the story begins with the God of the sky. So He's a very big, proud God. So can you stand up really nice and tall? And can you float your arms up? And the God of the sky. And float your arms up. Can you come onto your tiptoes? Ooh. And then really elegantly as you breathe out, float your arms down. And he had a wonderful daughter who was kind, hardworking and beautiful. And she wove lots of cloth to be made into beautiful kimonos, which are lovely traditional Japanese outfits. So, can you stand out really nice and wide? So the daughter was a weaver, so we're going to do some weaving. So bringing your legs out nice and wide with your feet facing forward to begin with. Can you turn one foot to the side and bend into that leg there? Can you float your arms up like this? And we're going to do some weaving, so that's it. Now you keep your shoulders down away from your ears, looking forward at your fingertips. Bring that hand that's behind you, and can you weave it forward as you go, as you breathe in? And then as you breathe out, can you pull it back? Let's do that again. As you're going to do some weaving of cloth, weave your hand forward as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, pull it back. And you straighten that leg, flop your arms down and turn your toes in there. Then let's do the other side. So can you turn the other toes out? Bend into that leg. Feel that stretch in the inner thigh there, making sure your knee's going over your toe. And let's go. Weave your arms, weave your arms up. Then we're going to do some weaving here. So get that, look forward at your fingertips, shoulders down away from the ears, and weave that arm forward. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, pull it back. Let's do that one more time. As you breathe in, weave your arm forward. As you breathe out, pull it back. And then rest your arms down. Well done, everybody. That's strong arms. Then straighten that leg and work to turn your toes in. Then can you jump your legs together? Whee! So the God of the sky thought that his daughter was a little bit lonely, and it'd be a good idea to go looking for a friend for her. So we need to go looking. So can you come down into bent legs, like you're just about to sit into a chair but not quite. Bend your knees so they're just covering your toes. And then can you put on your binoculars? So he went searching far and wide. So turn and look one way. See what you can see. What can you see? And then back to centre. And he went even further wide. So turn the other way. So have a look. See what you can see. And then back to centre. And then down in a field, he saw Hikoboshi, who was a cow farmer. So can you come all the way down onto your knees and onto your hands like this? So I'll just turn to the side so you can see. So if put your toenails flat to the floor, put your hips over your knees and your shoulders over your hands and push up away from your hands. Can you come into a cow position here? And can you move sequence back into a cat? And then breathe in. As you breathe in, can you move forward? And then as you breathe out, stretch it back. Let's do that one more time. As you breathe in, can you move forward? And then as you breathe out, stretch it back. Maybe do a little bit of a wiggle here. Can you bounce your hips from side to side? Come down into your legs, like this. And then I'm just going to turn around and come onto my knees like this. So, the God of the sky introduced Orihime and Hikoboshi. And guess what? They fell in love. Wow! Can you put your arms out wide and then give yourself a great big hug? They fell in love and got on so well. So give yourself a great big hug, give a little twist there. Excellent. And then float your arms out to the side again. And then give yourself another big hug, this time putting the other arm on top. That's it. Might feel a little bit funny. Give a great big hug. Oh, so these two characters, they got on so well that they spent all their time together, but they stopped working so hard. So there was no more beautiful cloth made for kimonos, and the cows got very sick because they weren't being looked after. Oh no! So the god of the sky got a bit cross and a bit sad, and he thought, how can we stop this? So he had an idea, and he thought it was best that they should spend some time apart. So they still got to do all their jobs, and people got to have kimonos, and the cows were fine. So can you slowly come onto your knees like this, your hands on your hips? Can you step forward and come all the way up to standing? That's it. So the god of the sky thought he'd put them on the different sides of the universe so that they could carry on doing their jobs. So we're going to stretch out really nice and wide. So he put Hikoboshi to the west. So can you lift up your left knee and your left hand, and can you bring it out to the side and stretch it out wide? Well done, great balancing. And then bring it back in, back to centre. And he put Orihime to the east. So can you lift up one knee and the other knee and leg, and then stretch it out wide. Well done. And then bring it back to centre. So these stars are on the opposite side of the Milky Way. So can you bring yourself into a big star shape? Wow. But then they felt very sad that they couldn't see each other anymore. So then the god of the sky thought, I know what we'll do, is we'll have one day where we all come together, where they can come together, and we can have a big celebration. And they jumped for joy. Guess what day it was? The 7th of July. So let's jump your feet in a little bit, let's do 5 big star jumps here. Okay, off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then do one big jump. Woo! And they had a wonderful celebration on the 7th of July. So when you're star, can you be a floppy star and reach one arm down towards your toes? Give a little wave in the air. Breathing in as you come up. And then bring the opposite arm down to the toes. Give a little bend in your leg. Can you be a wavy star here? Wow! So they had a beautiful celebration. And this story is told generation after generation in Japan, and it's now a special festival called Tanabata. People celebrate this festival by writing little wishes, and they hang them on ribbons on trees, and they all float in the wind. So can we be some floaty ribbons like this? Can you float yourself? Oh, float yourself, wonderful. And then can you slowly float yourself? I'm just going to turn this way. Can you float yourself all the way down onto your back, like this? So float all the way down, and can you give yourself a great big hug? So we've done lots of movement on our lower backs today. So hug your knees in and just rock gently from side to side. Well done. And then can you float your arms out either side of you? And then place your feet down on the floor with your knees in the air. And take a breath there. Deep breath in, breath out. And what you're going to do is you're going to flop your knees over to one side and look to the opposite hand. Take a deep breath in there. And then as you breathe in, float your knees back up to centre. And as you breathe out, flop them over to the other side and look to the other hand. Then as you breathe in, bring your knees back to centre and slowly put your feet out in front of you. Bring your hands down towards your sides. We're just going to take a deep breath in, Shavasana, in this still pose here. Okay. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Well done. Can you slowly bring your knees back up to the sky, flop them over to one side, and then push back up. And then come back in to sitting. Well done, everybody. Thanks for joining in today. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out Tanabata. It sounds like a beautiful festival to be involved in. And maybe you should write a wish and a blessing on a piece of paper and put it somewhere too. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, let's finish on our special yoga code word. So bringing our hands, sitting up nice and tall, bringing our hands together in our heart space. We'll bow our heads and say our special yoga code word. Namaste. Thanks everybody.